Coding is fun for computing enthusiasts, but what about those that are new to the field? Well, I confess that coding can get really complicated at times, especially when you're learning some high-end techniques and working on complicated pieces of code. However, that's a time when you must keep your head high and ride the wave. But the question remains, how do you do that? In this video, I'm going to talk about how you can keep yourself motivated while coding. Given that technology keeps changing, motivating yourself to learn new tools in coding environments, languages, and frameworks is not an easy job. At times, it all seems overwhelming, and before you know it, you have lost all motivation to continue to learn the code. Moreover, it's not all about new tools. Sometimes we get stuck on a topic like algorithms or data structures, and things just don't seem to work. So it gets easy to get frustrated and give up on a subject. It's one of the reasons why there are special motivation lessons for coding students, because everyone knows that things will not always go as smooth as they appear. So what are the keys to staying motivated while coding? Well, as a coder, you must learn in short bursts, set small, achievable goals, focus on one topic at a time, find a mentor or peer group, build a portfolio, remove all distractions, and remember why you're coding in the first place. And lastly, just keep practicing. So let's talk about this more. First, learn in 5-minute sessions. Learning in short bursts is an effective technique that applies to most subjects. While it might not seem like much, 5 minutes of learning can do wonders if you do it consistently. Compared to continuous studying and coding for hours, smaller sessions are effective because you take regular breaks and come back fresh and hungry for more. This makes coding easier to absorb and becomes more enjoyable too. Small learning bursts, especially effective when you're a beginner. It doesn't overwhelm you with the complicated topics and harder concepts. As you ease into the lessons, you'll realize that time duration of each session will extend automatically, and you'll be more comfortable spending more time in front of your computer screen. The idea is to get in the habit of seeing and learning about a topic consistently over time to better retain the information for the long haul. Next, set smaller and achievable goals. The best part about coding is that you can always break down into smaller modules, so a problem doesn't seem as intimidating as it did at the start. As you break down the problem into smaller achievable goals, it's easy to address them one by one using the 5-minute sessions to resolve and learn it individually. For instance, if you're learning JavaScript, there's virtually no end to it. However, you can always break it down into learning different modules and items. For instance, you can learn how to implement arrays in JavaScript in one session, then move on to implementing functions in another. Layer by layer, you'll ease into the subject and eventually reach a point where you can handle larger problems and pieces of code at once. So set some small goals and keep working on them in short bursts to achieve those goals. This way you won't easily get frustrated even when you are unable to solve the problem completely, because you've solved a good portion of it just by breaking it down into different components. Next, only focus on one topic at a time. This is pretty much what I wanted to say earlier. Coding is a vast field and there's so much to learn every new day. Therefore, when you look at a curriculum from the outset, it can seem intimidating. But if you focus on one topic at a time, things become remarkably simpler. For instance, you must be familiar with control structures in programming. Now, there are several types of control structures like while loops, for loops, if-else statements, and many others. But that doesn't mean you have to learn the entire control structure in one sitting. For instance, just focus on for loops and learn them comprehensively. Once you're confident about that topic, move on to the next one. This technique is especially important if you're a beginner and have more time to learn the code. Next, find a mentor or peer group. It doesn't hurt to take external help, especially if you're a sole learner or a DIY coder. You'll need outside help at some point, so it's a good idea to seek a mentor from some professional or experienced coders of your niche. This is much easier if you're a college student because you can go to your teachers or other experienced students to get help on a topic. But what about new learners who are not in the same field? In such a case, there are several online platforms like CodeMentor and GitHub. They're loaded with experts and coding enthusiasts that are looking to help mentor you. You can always look at these individuals and learn more about a certain concept. More importantly, mentors give you a better direction based on your aims and objectives for coding. The advice from mentors helps selecting the right tools and content to help you learn more effectively. Next, build a portfolio. A portfolio is an excellent motivator. I'm a big fan of building coding portfolios. That's why I always encourage new programmers to build a profile on platforms like GitHub. More importantly, when you see your achievements and profile building up, it motivates you to do more. Sometimes being in competition with other coders can help bring out the best in you. So when you check on other coders' profiles, it can motivate you to do more and learn new techniques. Next, cut out distractions. Unlike studies where a computer isn't a necessity, you need a PC or laptop to learn any form of coding. This brings in a new problem like YouTube, social media, or Netflix. Most of us are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, so every time we get stuck on a problem, our instinctive reaction is to take a break and check out what's happening on social media. This is a killer habit because a random Facebook check can lead you into hours of pointless scrolling on your news feed without even realizing it. So make sure to cut out any distractions, and there are many ways to do this. For instance, you can restrict your social media sites on your browser, keep your phone away while coding, make sure there are no external disturbances like friends or family. The idea is to immerse yourself in coding, and it can do wonders for your learning. Next, remember why you're coding. Finally, keep on reminding yourself why you started coding in the first place. You may want to start a new career, apply for a specific job post, or become a master of the art of coding. Whatever it might be, it's important to keep reminding yourself about your goal. Especially when you feel down and are thinking about quitting, a reminder of your goals can give you a new push to do better. Imagine when you finally become what you've aimed for. How it would feel if you were on the verge of quitting and a small reminder prompted you to try again. In short, small efforts and gestures can go a long way in shaping your career, so don't miss out on an opportunity to do better. Now that you've learned how to stay motivated in coding, check out my video on the top 5 programming languages to learn in 2022. See you in there.